Welcome to A Course in Business Miracles. This is Heather Dominick, creator of businessmiracles.com and founder and leader of the highly sensitive entrepreneur movement. Join me today for some genuine practical assistance and a business-altering and life-changing experience, a business miracle. This is A Course in Business Miracles, episode number 85, Awareness Awakens. Time and again, I watch highly sensitives avoid recognizing their own self-defeating patterns. They just want to positive affirmation their way through life without doing the real work of looking their non-serving patterns in the eye. But this simply doesn't work. It's a form of delusion. So let's explore what's really going on behind the scenes, all so that you can become the highly sensitive leader you are meant to be. We are impatient because everyone wants transformation and no one wants to change. And we don't want to do the work. And we get a little bratty about here. Like, come on already. Or, as I said earlier, we understand it, but we don't really want to change it because I really like my chocolate and 72 hours of meditation. And fighting with my husband when I'm upset is comfortable. Or yelling at my kids. Or pretending that because I am so much a caretaker of my dog that I am a good person, so I don't really need to do anything differently. Or just good old, plain old fear. I don't know what this change will be. I say I want it, but what will happen? What will that be like? How will I live? Will I still have friends? Will I still like to eat apples? What if I don't like the sunshine anymore? I don't know. This is scary. And so we stay here and we take course after course after course and we read book after book after book and we fool ourselves that we're actually transforming, but we're not really engaging in what I refer to as the real work to change. When you shift from understanding to knowing, it is full freedom. You literally are no longer the same person. Deep breath in and let it out. So, at any point in the cycle, you can kick in to awareness. So maybe it's in fear. Maybe you've been through this enough times that you're just so gosh darn sick of it that instead of giving into the fear, the minute you feel it, bam, you go into awareness. You're like, yep, here I am. I'm in fear. And then you start around ayuk. Or maybe it doesn't hit until you're collapsing. And maybe you've collapsed so drastically. One of those moments, like when I was talking about Martha Beck earlier, right? Going into the fire. And finally, the universe gives you enough of a kick in the ass in the form of some type of trauma, tragedy, big wake-up call. And you're like, this is it. Or as Marianne Williamson says when she's teaching about the Course, where the Course says, the best place to be is on your knees. And Marianne says, when do we get down on our knees? We get down on our knees in crisis. And then she says, after we've been down and up and down and up and down and up enough times, we learn, I might as well just stay there. Just stay on my knees. Whatever it might be. So maybe it's there and it kicks you into awareness. Maybe it's soothing. When you've done this work enough times, it can kick in at any time. I have literally been in the middle of habits myself, eating that thing that I always go to or had gone to, and in mid-bite, and suddenly, I don't want this anymore. I don't need this anymore. And then it's done. Into awareness, understanding, into choice action. And then it is about staying with the Ayuk process over and over and over again. And as you do, that brings you into the experience of a miracle. And as you know from being a part of the Course in Business Miracles community, a miracle is a shift in perception. And suddenly, what used to scare you so much doesn't scare you anymore. What used to have you in pushing, you're not pushing anymore. And this is a beautiful space because it is the ultimate experience of love. Because it is love for yourself. Love for yourself as a person who's highly sensitive. Love for yourself as a person who's highly sensitive, who can use those abilities as strengths, who is willing to do things differently, and anyone else who has issue with it, be damned. And you are so comfortably confident. It doesn't matter what Grandma Jane used to do. It doesn't matter that your friends are like, what's wrong with you? It doesn't matter that you never eat chocolate again, or that you just eat chocolate because you choose to, because you like the taste. Or you choose to be able to meditate proactively, or get a massage just because you plug it in as a core practice for your time off. And this is beautiful change. Deep breath in and let it out. Now, the other piece about the coping cycle is that you can have the awareness at any point in the cycle, like I was saying, and just as we're going into Ayuk, what can happen? Resistance. And maybe it's on your way to awareness. Maybe it's on your way to understanding. Maybe it's you're in choice action, and suddenly you're like, I am not taking another action. I have had it with these actions. No way. You cannot make me take any other action. Which, of course, is a choice. So this is what we're here to go deeper into together for this training retreat. Now, just one other note about the cycle, which is the words of touched and awaken. And those come from Bonnie Badenoch, who has done a lot of work around the trauma of the heart and even looking at the heart as its own brain, the heart brain, which we went into more deeply for those of us who were at the spring training retreat together. And so what she says is that to give a rename to trigger as a moment of being touched or awaken. And that's for those of you who get triggered by the word trigger. So you don't just stop right here, right? Which connects back to what I said earlier, which is that our shadows are not bad. They are simply here to give us a signal. But then it's about being able to recognize the signal, and then the willingness to listen to the signal, and then the willingness to work with the signal. So as far as the Business Miracles path from resistance to resilience for HSEs, just because you don't like doing something doesn't mean that you're resisting it. It might just mean that not meant to be done by you. So how do you know that you are in resistance? There's an emotional and energetic charge. You feel it physically. You feel it emotionally. You engage in it energetically. And typically that also comes with engaging in it mentally. I am not doing that. No way. You cannot make me. Maybe those are words that can come out of your mouth. Typically, for those of us who are highly sensitive, that conversation is happening internally. And if you're a pusher, you push through it. No, you cannot make me. Oh my God, I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing and I'm really, really doing it. And I'm so exhausted doing it. I can't believe I'm doing it. Oh, I hate I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to prove to you that I'm like the 80% I'm doing it. And the hider is like, I am not going to do that. But I'm going to smile at you. And I'm going to tell you, oh, sure, yes, okay, I can do that for you. And then it's a week later and you're like, oh, I haven't gotten to that yet. Just haven't gotten to that. Or you're doing it in a very passive-aggressive way, right? Oh, yeah, I'm so happy I'm doing that for you as I go home and eat a pint of ice cream, you mother. It's the charge. It is the meaning that you make of it. Something has come up, right? You're on a CPC call, you connect in with myself or one of the coach team, and we say to you, yes, so the thing to do here is for you to find a networking event and to go to that networking event and to practice your Business Miracles message. And you feel it in your body. And you are like, okay, I'll do that. And then as a pusher, again, you get off the CPC call and you force yourself to go to not just one networking event, but 5, all in 3 days, back to back, where you have to drive 60 miles in between each one, uphill, both ways. And as a hider, then a week later, we're checking in on you on the forum and nowhere to be found because you have had to work on the engagement party for your next door neighbor's horse, because that really needs to happen. Very importantly, now in this, I don't have time for networking. I have horse engagement parties to arrange, or whatever it might be. So, working with the coping cycle and being aware of resistance. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of A Course in Business Miracles. If you're ready to learn how to use your highly sensitive abilities to support you in being purposeful, profitable, and empowered rather than scattered, poor, and undervalued, take my free self-quiz to find out if you are indeed a highly sensitive entrepreneur. And if you are, along with your quiz results, you'll receive my free HSE Success Guide, which will teach you how to have your highly sensitive abilities working for you to create the results you desire in your business. Take the quiz and receive your free success guide now at www.hsequiz.com.